guys, and welcome to my YouTube. Today is going to be a day today. It is Thursday the 14th of August, 5:24. Just about to head to the gym for my session. I like to try and get in the mornings just so I can start my day right, and then I've got the rest of the day to get some work done and crack on. Just got up, brushed my teeth, had a quick wash of the face, and gonna have some hydration. And then today in my session I have some clean jerks, some front squats, some thrusters, capacity piece at the end, and some handstands to start. So quite a tasty session to start with. I'll run you through my training session, and then I will run you through the rest of the day, what my work day looks like and how I structure it. Should be a fun one. Finished up today's session, or this morning's session. Sometimes I do it in one big chunk, but today I thought I'd break it up. Just the fact that I'm normally doing it at 7, I normally have a bit of breakfast beforehand. So I did the handstand push-up work, which is actually pretty good today. Normally it's quite a tough grind for me, those ones, but today felt a little bit better, felt a little bit smoother, broke my sets up not as much as I do normally, which was good. And then went into some front squats. Clusters were tough. They were lots of reps, relatively heavy-ish, not silly weights, but annoyingly heavy. So I'll head home, have some food, or have a shower first, have some food, and then sit down to crack on with a little bit of work. This routine is probably better for me. Realistically, if I want to try and have good performances within all the pieces I do in the gym, and then also not spend too long working in one go, quite nice to break up the day. So started well today, heading home. I'll be home in about 20-ish minutes. And then work-wise, I have some programming to do. So I've got programming for my group programs. So I finished up my Max Pro program, which is doing really well. It's really cool to see the guys smashing it out, and a cool phase that they're going into at the moment. They're in week 4 of the current 12-week block. So it should be cool to see them grow and build as the intensity starts to ramp up towards the end of this block. Then I'm going to program for my old ski team. So I used to ski for Team Evolution, and I now program for the guys on the ski team, which is really cool. Really enjoying that. That's awesome, and it's a really cool niche sort of insight that I have. Obviously, being a ski racer myself, being through exactly the same system as what these guys are going through, well, almost exactly the same, as close as I can to mimicking it, and knowing what it is to be an athlete and manage school as well as actual just life, and being with your mates and being home and traveling and dealing with races, and it's a lot. So I can understand the workload they have. I know the reasons and justifications for what they need to train and where they can push, and provide them with that. So that's really cool. Nice and rewarding to see the guys do it. So I will be programming their group program today. Then also the Max program, which is my functional fitness program, I'll be programming that. So it is 9:43, so I've been doing a little bit of work for the past hour and 20 minutes or so. What I've done so far is applied to some messages from some clients, mapped out what I need to do programming wise. So gonna get some bits done for my group programs for next week, and then also the upcoming block. I want to try and edit a piece of content that's coming out soon. Realistically, by the time I've done that, it's gonna be about time to head to the gym. So I'll head to the gym, do my sesh, come back, have some food, and then carry on. It's now 10:15. I got a little bit peckish. Gonna have some dates. Probably gonna have 2 and then a coffee, and then that'll set me up well for my session at 11. As I said, got clean jerks and then a thruster piece. I'll have this, carry on doing a little bit more work, finish off that bit of programming that I was doing for my group programs, and then we'll get into it. I try and mobilize overhead before I go into a session. Majority of my sessions, just because my overhead is quite tight, and it's definitely an area of weakness for me. So I try and spend about 10 to 15 minutes doing that prior to my lifts, etc., just so I can be in a slightly better position. Just walking to the gym. Gonna get a little stretch on once I get there, but have clean and jerks to start with, a little bit of a complex, build to a moderate to heavy rate. Still just focusing on the technique, so won't go silly heavy. And then we'll get into the thruster chest to bar piece, which will be quite spicy. Definitely a heart raiser. Lactate will be high. Big push for that one. Feeling energized though. It's a good one to do as a second sesh rather than doing it this morning, so kind of like a blessing in disguise not doing that this morning. But it should be nice to see the guys as well, get in the mix, see how they're doing, and crack on. Finished up, second session of the day. That was tough. Cleans felt heavy. Just the last set, those jerks felt pretty tough. Built up to 120. The complex today was 1 clean pull, 1 clean, so a squat clean, and then into 2 split jerk. So the jerk is definitely a bit of a sticking point for me, so something I always need to work on. Just anything overhead really. Then I went into my thruster piece. It was never going to be easy. It's quite hard to keep the pace, so I definitely went out a little bit hot. Not ridiculously, but first round was definitely my quickest. Second round was still quite quick, and then I dropped off a little bit, but I kept it fairly consistent from there on. Just being disciplined is probably the main thing from that workout. Just getting back to the bar, hands on, getting straight back into your reps, because you know if you really had to, you could get back to it a little bit quicker. So it's just that discipline to not stop moving as much as you can. But all in all, good sesh. I knew from the jerks overhead I would be a little bit tight, especially my lower back, so I had a good stretch. So I'd stretched for 20 odd minutes, just went for a go wad, which was nice and easy. Tick through that. I know I just feel better for tomorrow or later on today if I do that, especially sitting down at my laptop for a big chunk of the day. But now we're going to head back, have some lunch. My plan is to have some tuna. Probably going to have some tin tuna, a bit of Greek yogurt mixed in with it, maybe some jalapenos, and have that in a few wraps. That's my go-to snack or go-to lunch. And then I'll sit down, try and do as much work as I can before Jem gets home. Should be a nice end to the day and set myself up well for tomorrow. I'll try and make my breakfast as well the day ahead, just so I have no faff come tomorrow. I'll be getting up early tomorrow. Shower time and grub. As I said, tuna wraps is sort of my go-to snack or lunch. So grab some tuna, then need a bowl. I will mix these up, just a bit of Greek yogurt, some jalapenos, just to make it quite nice and a little bit spicy, and then a bit of salt and pepper. So real simple, does the job, good source of protein, also very quick, and means I can get down quick and get back to work relatively fast. That took me about 5 minutes to make. Got lots of jalapenos in there, so I'll just pop it in a wrap. That'll be good to go. So now I'm just making my breakfast for tomorrow. Quite an early start, so I want to just make sure I'm all set, ready to go, so I'm not having to worry about what I'm doing in the morning. An easy go-to is just overnight oats. Just simple, quick, easy to make, also hits the spot. And I'll use a little bit of Marchon whey. I go for 100 grams of oats, add about 250 milliliters of milk, put in about 1.5 scoops of Marchon whey protein. So per serving there's 24 grams, so it's going to be about 35-ish, or 30, a bit less maybe, 35-ish grams of protein. Then I'll leave it in the fridge with some peanut butter and honey, and I'll also put some blueberries and potentially some strawberries on there. Now it is 3:56. I had to do some admin, so I put some washing up, etc. Made my breakfast for tomorrow. Also packed my bag, ready to go. And then was doing a little bit of programming for Team Evolution for some old ski team. They are ready to go for next week and also the week after that, which is nice. And then now I'm going to edit a little bit of content to go on Instagram, also TikTok, YouTube Short. Jen will be almost home. We'll probably walk into town to grab some food for later on. Apparently it's pad thai tonight, so it should be good. Recipes from Emily English, I would very highly recommend. Very, very good. We'll grab that and then we'll start cooking, and then that'll be the evening. Thank you for coming along. A full day's training and also a little bit of work as well and what I get up to. I'll be trying to do more of these as I go through and as I start to get into more of a big training block towards some competitions potentially towards the end of the year and also going into next year. Some more to come, some more insights into the focuses that I have within my training and also my business. I hope you enjoyed the insights from today. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know how you found it, and I will see you next time.